Oops. Let me just, there we go. What is up, Saturn System? I hope you beautiful people are enjoying another wonderful day in paradise. My name is Saturn Cycle, and welcome to our next arcade alley game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories for the PS1. This game is so much fun in a really ridiculous kind of way. It doesn't adhere to any of the actual rules for duel monsters, so in that way it's just like the show. So I decided not to play more of my, whatchamacallit, my, RPG Maker game, just because, you know, I wasn't really in the mood for it. There's a lot going on for me this week. Got a lot of graduations to attend, so time is really short for me. So I decided, you know what, we'll just move on. Because if I wanted to record Chapter 2, I would have to play through... I think it would be like an hour or so. And I want to keep these episodes relatively consumable. So I might just pass it off to Kevin for him to play and chew up. I found it at last. So this is the bad guy on screen right now. The forbidden treasure of the ancient sorcerers. He basically found a picture book. I like this little theme that plays though. So dramatic for a children's card game. I don't think I've ever actually like legitimately beaten this game. Because the villain, like, you can do things. You are of royal blood, walking the city streets dressed as a commoner. Have you no shame? Quite frankly, I'm embarrassed. Yeah, so we ran away. So the villain of this game, he is basically a piece of work, right? Because you don't adhere to any of like the traditional card game rules, where it's like you have to tribute to summon monsters and so on and so forth. There's nothing like that in this game. If you have the card, you can play it. Let's see what our deck's looking like. Let's sort by power. Mushroom Man. We don't have the best deck so far. But the villain, the first monster he plays is a card called Meteor Black Dragon. Which is it's a monster that has 3,500 attack points to start. So even if you have something like a Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is 3,000 attack points, you're still going to get bodied. So the purpose for us right now is to just go to the duel grounds and just duel some people. Just to progress the story. You basically end up dueling some people that are like ancestors of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters, and then you end up hopping forward in time and participating in a tournament. I've been waiting for you, Saturn. Jono, who is of course Joey, was also here a few minutes ago, but he's gone now. How about a duel? Sure, let's duel. So of course Taya is the easiest of the bunch, and then it ramps up. I forgot who the last person we duel is before we move to the future, because we duel like so many people, and then we have to go back to the palace, and then like the main villain's guards are like looking for you or whatever. So if you look at our monsters, and if you look at the bottom of the screen where it shows like the monster's name and shows the attack and defense points and then the type, next to that you'll see like two symbols. Those are like star signs for some reason, because you have to choose one, and then depending on what you choose, sometimes you'll get a buff or a debuff depending on what the monster you're up against is. It's a weird system. Right now we're going to... So also, Fusion... This game is so weird. So in the typical card game and in the show, you fuse monsters together using a card called Polymerization, and you can only fuse monsters, of course, that go together. In this game, if you want to fuse monsters, you press up on the D-pad and it selects them, but you can do it for all your cards. The downside, though, is, say you fuse two monsters together accidentally, right? But there's a third monster in your lineup that doesn't fuse into that monster. It'll bump that monster that you just fused into the graveyard, and it'll keep the monster that remained. It's a broken system, so we're gonna try this combination. Nothing. I'm gonna go with my own name. And we can't attack on the first turn, unfortunately. So we just have to end our turn. The computer is really smart too. There's no difficulty levels for this game. So if you leave the PC in opening, they're gonna take it. Let's fuse you two together. Actually, let's fuse you with this boy. Hey! I like the moon. I like the moon more than Mars. Okay, so this is off to a weird start. You can always see what I don't know why I stuttered there, but you can always see how many cards are left in your deck and the opponent's deck, and you can form your strategy based on that. Because if any player runs out of cards, the opponent wins by default. I was hoping for something there. We're gonna go with Uranus. We're gonna attack. Because I mean, your first match, you don't really need to expect anyone in this game to have anything crazy up their sleeve, you know? Except for the villain, because he comes out the gate swinging. So there's a star chip system. I don't know why I'm stuttering today. There is a star chip system in this game, where it's like, how do I explain it? After every battle, depending on how you do, we'll go with Jupiter since that's our usual Pokemon rival name. After every duel, depending on how you perform, you get a grade. And that grade determines how many star chips you get. So you can get 1 star chip up to 5 star chips. And you can use those star chips to purchase monster cards, or just cards in general. But what the game doesn't tell you is that all of the good monster cards are like 9,999 star chips. So if you really want good monsters, you have to farm for them. And it's like, come on man, who has time for that? I don't expect these will go together, but... Oh, they do. Oh, okay. We're gonna go with Jupiter again. And yeah, this game's weird. I remember when I first got this game, because Yu-Gi-Oh cards have like this little serial number on the very bottom. And what I didn't know is that you can take that number and put it in this game at the card shop, and the monster, depending on the generation of the card, of course, because a lot of the cards that exist now didn't exist when this game came out. But like the first 2 or 3 generations of cards, you can like put their number in, and it'll pop up in this game, and you can purchase it. So knowing that, I was like, sweet, I want a Dark Magician, because Dark Magician was my dude. Ah, he got a buff there, so I took some damage. And we'll use you. But I went to put in the Dark Magician number, and of course it was like 9,999 cards. I mean star chips. But you can only get up to 5 star chips, and that's if you're doing really, really well. Like we got a B rank, so we got 3 star chips. I don't know how this game expects you to farm the way it wants you to get those cards, because otherwise you're just waiting on luck. Like if you beat the main villain, because after you beat a character, you can go to like the dual screen in the main menu, and you can just rematch people over and over and over. And some characters, if you get like the highest rank, you have a chance to get one of their best cards. So if you beat the main villain with like the highest rank, which I think is an S rank, he has a chance to give you Meteor Black Dragon. But it's just like, how do you expect me to beat him without a Meteor Black Dragon? I don't get it, because he also has Gate Guardian, I believe, which has the 3,750 attack points. So it's kind of ridiculous. We're gonna make a zombie warrior. We're not making a zombie warrior. So we're probably going to do this duel and then call it an episode. Like, I don't really intend to play this game. I might do it in like my off time, just for poops and giggles. But I don't... This is one of those games where it's so slow, you know? Because you have to take the time to get all the cards you need. I've seen speedruns of this game, and I'm like, how are you doing this? I don't understand this witchcraft and wizardry. Okay, you're a fiend. You're a beast. Part of this game is just experimenting to see what fuses together. Because without a guide, you're just going to be here for your whole goddamn life. But even that, it's just like, every turn having to like look at a guide to see if you have any two monsters in your hand that fuse together, it's stupid. I remember when I was younger, when I had this game, like a physical copy of this game on the PS1, I would write down all my monsters on a notepad next to me, and then if any of them fused together, I would write down what fused with what monster. Yeah, we're not even gonna bother trying to fuse. Because, I mean, come on. We're just gonna try to push through this guy's life points. There's this one dude who I was watching speedrun this game, and he was That's the thing about speedrunning, though, isn't it? Where it's like, if you're even doing a speedrun, you know this game, or whatever game you're playing, like the back of your hand. So people could, like, open the game, look at their deck for like a split second, and know for a fact if that was the deck they wanted. And I'm like, how are you doing this? What is this craziness? Like, I saw this dude, like, restart his run over and over and over because, like, the first 5 or 6 cards he saw in his deck weren't what he was looking for. Because I guess there's just, like, a pre-baked order that they could be. So it's like, if you saw certain cards in a certain order, you knew what deck it was. So he was just waiting for the right deck to show up. And then, when he got the right deck, he just started powering through people, and I'm like, how are you doing this? Like, I like to believe I'm a full-fledged adult, and I can't even do what you're doing. And I've been playing this game since I was a little kid. Playing this game since I was a 5th grader. And I've never beaten it, not once. I've gotten to, like, close to the ending, but I've never beaten the last villain, because I didn't have a deck strong enough. Like, I think the strongest monster I could pull out was like a 2800, and that was through fusion. We got A rank, Muyan Curry, 4 star chips. So this was a nice little walk down memory lane. I'm glad I played this. Well, let's play again sometime. Nah, no thanks, fam. Well, anyway, if you guys have been enjoying Arcade Alley so far and looking forward to seeing how it plays in the future, consider leaving a like and subscribe. Both help the channel immensely. I plan to play a game for a buddy of mine in next Tuesday's episode. It's a game that I grew up with that I really, really, really like. It's a fighting game, so look forward to that. If you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss out on notifications when content goes up. And as always, I've been Saturn, you guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next episode of Arcade Alley. Later, everybody.